Hey, what's going on, you guys? Keith Carnes here, and today I just wanted to make a brief video. As of this recording, November 13th, 2015, today marks the 10-year anniversary since Eddie Guerrero passed away. Arguably one of the greatest wrestlers in history. I mean, of all time. Just a tremendous talent, such an amazing storyteller in the ring. The things that Eddie was able to do was just insane. I mean, it was just unparalleled. Nobody has been able to replicate an Eddie Guerrero type of heel turn or a story. Nobody's been able to connect with the audience the way that Eddie did. It's not every day that you find a wrestler that could be a heel and pull off messed up stuff like in his feud against Rey Mysterio and still be absolutely beloved by the fans. And Eddie was very famous for pulling off bad stuff like hitting people with chairs behind the ref's back, and then he wouldn't even hit people some of the times. Like, he just slammed the chair on the mat, and then the ref would turn around and Eddie had already thrown the chair to his opponent, and he's just like, oh, he hit me in the head. And that's actually how he won his last match against former superstar Mr. Kennedy on SmackDown to to advance to the Survivor Series match, which he would never wrestle in, as he would pass away just a matter of days later after that match was taped. Just such an amazing talent, just such a horrible loss to the wrestling world and to the world and his family and everything else and everyone else that was affected by his death. I remember it greatly. I mean, it's like 10 years ago today. It's just hard to believe, because I remember my mom actually called me. She was at work, and I was I can't remember if I was going to school that day or not. Can't remember if I don't know. I don't know what day the 13th landed on in '05, but I remember I was at home still. My mom went to work, and she called me and said, yeah, I just heard on the radio they're saying that Eddie Guerrero was found dead. And I'm like, the Eddie Guerrero? Like Eddie? Like from WWE? And she's like, yeah. And I just didn't really believe it. I really wasn't on the internet at that time, all that time ago, so I wasn't really familiar with dirt sheets and how to go online and find this news. So I had waited all day for Monday Night Raw to come on, and the cable we had back then was Dish Network, and I had to wait until 9 at night for Raw to come on, and I was like, okay, here's Moment of Truth. Is Eddie really dead? And it opened with all of the superstars on the ramp, and that's when I knew it was true. All the wrestlers had I'm Your Poppy shirts on, which was Eddie's last shirt that they made for him before he died. And it was just so heartbreaking. I mean, it was like, I would say other than Chris Benoit, it was one of the hardest wrestler deaths that I've been through. Actually, his was a lot harder than Chris's for me, which might actually surprise some people considering the way that Benoit went out. But Eddie was just such an amazing talent. I mean, it was just insane how fucking gifted this guy was. And when you hear stories about you hear stories from people that knew Eddie, who were around Eddie at the last year of his life in 2005, they say that he was in a lot of pain, but as soon as he went through that curtain, it was just poker face from there, so to speak, and he just went in there and just put on a show for the fans, and that's all he cared about. Was he wanted to give people their money's worth. And I would say you more than accomplished that. Way more than accomplished that, Eddie. And yeah, it's just like so many memories. And I remember the tribute show, they did it on Raw and SmackDown, and it was just so hard. You saw people wrestle on Raw. We saw Chris Benoit versus Triple H, I think, in the main event. I think Benoit won it, and it was an amazing match. I still remember it, and I remember just how horribly devastated Chris Benoit was. I mean, it hit him so hard. I mean, this is a very well-known thing, and it hit everybody hard, but Chris was definitely one of those that was most affected by it. He was just like weeping. I mean, it was very, 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 very weird to see a wrestler like, the Toothless Aggression, Chris Benoit, the Rabid Wolverine, just breaking down on live TV. It was very sombering. It was surreal, and it's something that will be with me for the rest of my life. So, you know, we miss you, Eddie, more than I think any other wrestler. With all due respect to the others, Eddie was just one of those wrestlers that he was just insanely amazing, and nobody could ever be an Eddie Guerrero again. We do have people that will become legends in the future that we'll lose, and we'll horribly miss them as well. But there is just something about Latino heat that just sticks with us, I think, more than any other wrestler, at least for me. And Eddie is fondly remembered, and rightfully so. And yeah, he's just really missed, and it just really sucks that we can't watch him anymore. I mean, you can, but, you know, new stuff. It would just be awesome to see him in the WWE today. It really would. So, that's going to pretty much do it for me. I just wanted to release a video talking about my thoughts. Wanted to pay tribute to Eddie on the 10th anniversary of his death. I thought that I felt that I needed to make this video, because it was a part of my childhood. When I was 14, he died, so I was still a kid. And, it's impacted me, and I remember Eddie, and I love watching him. Just, like, I know I've said it a million times, but just a tremendous talent. So anyway, guys, this is the Keith Carnes. You can leave your thoughts below, what you think about Eddie, and hey, maybe we can start a conversation about it. This is the Keith Carnes. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next.